So 5 tips to improve your anchor. The first thing here is think about the hand to the neck, not the string to the face. So this is a really key aspect and is something that a lot of beginners struggle with, and it's kind of a bit of an instinct. So I've talked about this in a previous video as well, but if you focus too much when you're drawing the bow, if you focus too much on having the string and putting the string on the front of your face, you will do this, because you will want to bring the string, place it on the front of the face, but then you have no anchor. You've just kind of placed the hand somewhere, wherever it is, to place the string on the front, but you've not located the hand against the neck or anything like that. So instead of thinking about the string onto the front of the face and the nose, think about bringing the hand as you draw to the neck. And I don't mean the neck like here, I mean the kind of back side of the neck. The actual feeling, some people actually like feeling that the draw hand is going towards this shoulder. Obviously you're not going to draw all the way to there because that would be too far. You're not going to like draw like that. But in terms of the path that you're going to, thinking that way is much better than thinking about the string to the face. And this motion is led by the elbow. So you're thinking about hand to the neck, but you're not just doing it like this. You're doing hand to the neck by moving the elbow. So I'm going to move the elbow, hand to the neck. So when I first start doing this, it might be a little bit weird. You feel like you haven't got the anchor. Obviously this is too far, but I can go from here and then I can come up and I can find where I need to go in. If I go hand to the string to the face on the front, so if I go string to the face here, I'm always going to be too high up and too forward on the face. So that's number 1. Think about hand to the neck. Number 2, make sure the hook is correct. If your hook is too curled, you're gripping the string too much, maybe the hand is not relaxed enough, all of those things can make it hard to get a consistent anchor. Because if you're coming in here and this is too tense, then I'm not going to be able to feel the thumb is going to hit the neck first. My hand is all curled and I'm not going to be able to feel a relaxed anchor, and I'm not going to be able to get close enough in. So really, really important. When you're hooking, a couple of key things. You want the hooking to be in the digits of the fingers. So the hooking should be caused by the digits of the fingers, not by curling the hand like this. You don't want to make the hand into a fist. You want the hand, the back of the hand flat, and the hooking is from the finger digits at the end. So that's key. Then when you've got that, it's really important to include the thumb and the pinky. So the thumb position and the pinky position against the jaw can impact how close you can get. So for me personally, I can get closer when I have the thumb alongside like this. When I have the thumb there, it gives me more space. I can get my hand closer into the neck. I get a better anchor that way. But that's not for everyone. Some people may prefer having the thumb just relaxed down to the side. It's different for different people, but you need to make sure that it's not blocking you. It's very often that you'll see someone where they come in and the thumb is out and it'll be hitting the neck, and then there's a big gap here. So it's really important to look at the thumb position and the pinky position. Now on the pinky note, you don't want to be too tense most of the time. So you don't really want to ram the pinky down like this and be really tense, because you can see what that's done to this finger. It's too tense there. And then also you don't want the pinky to be completely off and relaxed, because it will lead people to do this. And then that hand rotation outwards doesn't let you get a consistent anchor to the neck, what we were saying about the hand to the neck previously. So before we get to the next part of the video, I want to thank today's video sponsor, which is myself. So seriously though, if you haven't checked them out already, if you don't know, I've created 2 online courses, one for beginners and one for advanced archers. They cover everything that you need to know to go from being a basic beginner archer right the way through to mastering every single part of your technique. So if you haven't checked them out already, go to courses.onlinearcheryacademy.com and definitely go and check them out. And there's a little discount in the comment section below. Now, the third area to help your anchor is the head position. This is often overlooked, and obviously a lot of time is spent on the hook and that kind of thing. I mentioned about the string to the face. The head position is very important. So the number 1 thing is obviously you don't want it to move as you're drawing. That's quite obvious, but quite hard to do. So if you're drawing and you're finding that the head is moving that way or in or whatever it is, it's going to make it really hard to get a consistent anchor. So that's the first thing, is to make sure the head is consistent. The second thing is to make sure the position of it is good and gives you enough space for the hand. So a key thing here is, if your head is too down, so I'm going to turn around, I'll do this right-handed. If your head is too down, it closes the gap in your jaw and there won't be enough space for your hand to fit. So if I'm here, I don't feel like I can get a good anchor. There just isn't enough space. I don't feel like I can get under the jawline with the index finger bone. I don't feel like I can get a consistent place along the neck, and I feel like I have to be too far back. But if I lift the head slightly, so if I'm here, I lift the head, you can see even the position of the hand moving, it just gives more space for the hand, and now there's much more space for a nice anchor. So that's the first thing, is make sure the head position when you're here isn't too down like that. Also, on the other side, if your head is too far twisted that way, that can do the same thing as well. So with the head position, you want to be really simple. Target is to the left in this example. Standing here, you've turned the head and you want to feel like there's a straight line going through the crown of the head, all the way through the spine and into the ground. Some people like kind of visualizing that there's a little string like pulling the head up, making sure the spine is straight. That's fine as well. That's a good reference or like visualization you can use. But generally, all you want to do is just keep the body straight, spine straight, look to the target, and just make sure that you feel that your head is in an upright position and there's space around the neck. As soon as you start going down or down like that, then it feels like there's a little bit of tension on either side of the neck. That's when it's going to make it hard to find your anchor. So I wouldn't overlook the head position if you're struggling to find your anchor, especially if it's moving during the shot. Now, a final note on the head position, kind of related to the head, is the jaw. Make sure that the jaw is shut. So the teeth should be together, the back teeth, the molars, should be lightly touching and together, not clenched. So you don't want to jam the teeth together and clench them, because that over time that will be kind of painful, and there's no need to do that. You just want to lightly touch them together, and then they're through, through the whole shot, they're together and touching. You don't want them to open. Very commonly, you'll see someone, the mouth is closed and they'll be drawing. And then as they draw, they open the mouth. So they go from here, and then you'll see the mouth open as they come in. And the opening of the mouth does exactly the same thing as what I mentioned about the head going down. It basically makes there's no space for the anchor, and then it creates all sorts of inconsistencies and that kind of thing. So really keep the mouth shut, basically. So point number 4 is make sure to rotate with the draw side. So this might sound a bit weird, but even if you know the theory and you know what the anchor should feel like, if you don't rotate enough with this side of the shot, the draw side, your anchor won't be good. So if I come to full draw without rotating now, if I come to full draw, so I'm just going to basically use kind of like the string to the face way of doing it that I mentioned. So string to the face, what's happened here is I've come in and I haven't come around with this side of the shot. I've just come in here and I'm very out, and you can see that from this example on the front. So by doing that, when I'm only coming to the front, I'm not coming around, there's a gap at the back here. So I'll do it again and show you. So here, there's a gap at the back of the neck. So that's what we don't want. So by making sure, you need to make sure that as you're drawing, you're bringing everything around together. Hand, elbow, shoulder moves together as one unit. Then that brings all the right hand side of the body around and then closes the gap at the back of the neck. So we want that, not that, and where there's the gap at the back there. So that's the really important part of making sure everything is drawing together. And this is something I've covered in previous videos as well, but I just wanted to highlight it here in this video. Now, finally, a kind of bonus tip, tip number 5, is experiment with tabs. So as you kind of guessed, I mentioned about the hook, thumb, pinky, all of that has a big impact on your anchor. And obviously this is really impacted by your tab. If your tab is the wrong shape for you, maybe the space is too thick, it's too wide, maybe it's too thin, maybe the space is too long, not long enough, maybe the plate on the tab goes too far back in your hand or not far back enough. There's so many things with the tab that can really cause your anchor to be inconsistent or not really get a consistent placement on the of the hand on the neck. So I'd encourage you to try lots of different styles of tabs. That's great. I know it's expensive, but if there are people at the club who've got different tabs, or maybe you can try something I love doing is, if you're not sure the tab is working for you, do some draw-ups, draw your bow with no tab, just with your fingers, and see where you can position. If you can get the position of the hand without a tab, then see what the tab is doing to your hand when you put it on. If it's compromising and not helping you, or actually if it's, you know, helping you, the shape of your hand. Ideally, you want a tab that either doesn't get in the way at all or helps you in a good way. If it's making you grab the string and curl the hand, then that's not a good tab for you. On that point, trying different tabs is great, but also it's very unlikely that even if you find a tab closely suited to you, it's not going to be perfect. So I definitely encourage you to grind your tab down, you know, modify the spacer, get some sandpaper and move, you know, modify the spacer around, take the metal part to like an angle grinder, grind the back down. Pretty much every top archer I know has done some modification to their tab. It's really, really important to do because everyone's hands are different. And to be honest, you're not going to get the tab exactly right out of the box. So let me know in the comments below if you've got any questions from this video, and I can answer them in a future video as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.